Good evening and welcome to the Drive at 5 on the IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio station. I'm your host, Roman, and we have a terrific show planned for you today. First, the forecast from our IntellectualRadio.com Weather Center. There is a severe thunderstorm watch for the whole Cook County area, so please keep your eye to the sky. However, there are spotty thunderstorms in the afternoon and continuing, possibly strong tonight, strong storms. Could be more severe weather watches and warnings, so please keep safe out there. Low 53 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy skies. High 53 degrees. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. During the evening, will give way to cloudy skies overnight. Low of 45 degrees. The rest of the week forecast looks like this. Rain, high 52 degrees. Thursday morning, rain and high 50 degrees, and on Friday, partly cloudy, high 55 degrees. The Drive at 5 is also part of the Monday Night Mogul with Straight No Chaser with Rhea Ray Harris at 6 p.m. Maze Says with Maze Jackson at 8 p.m. Keeping It Real Estate with Harold Arnold at 3 p.m. One Sister to Another with Angela Johnson has a new date and time at 10 a.m. on Sunday. And the Monday Night Mingo Radio is back on Monday nights at 7 p.m. The Drive at 5 is also part of the fabulous 5 at 5, only on IntellectualRadio.com. Today, my guest is the pastor of New Tabernacle of Faith Baptist Church. Please give a welcome back to the Drive at 5 to Pastor Paul Jace. Welcome to the Drive.
It's my pleasure to be with you and your radio audience today.
You have been very instrumental in assisting the efforts of stopping Chicago State University from closing. What is the latest information you have for our listening audience today?
Well, I am very happy to announce that the effort that many of us made, along with many of our Black Caucus members, and certainly the students of Chicago State Administration, the Alumni Association, the governor just signed the legislation about an hour and a half ago, and we are very pleased, and all of us are at various radio stations all across the state, just talking about the effort of many that went down, many that got on buses. We had a couple of buses go down, and voices were heard. Rally down in Springfield, and we're having a rally on the Mall because we're going to celebrate just for a minute, and then we're going to continue to talk about how there's a need for more funding for Chicago State, because the monies that have been given, the $21.1 million, only will just hold them until this September. So there's a need for more support and funding from the state of Illinois.
Given the situation regarding the Chicago State University and the temporary fix on not being shut down, will there be a backup plan to assist the students to continue their education, to go to another college or university that can be worked out?
Well, actually, our plan is not to let them go. And to just keep them at Chicago State. There's a graduation taking place very soon this weekend, and there's over 900 that will be graduating. And what we need to do now is just to get more students. They need to register. They need to participate and be a part of Chicago State. The MAP program certainly is helping to give now through the government and sign legislation opportunity. Those students that want to go and those that want to stay, they can stay.
Even though the state approved the funding, it's only until September, like you mentioned.
That's right.
Some critics are saying there is a possibility hands are inside the cookie jar that led to this situation. What are your thoughts about those rumors and situation that there is some type of corruption going on that led to this matter?
Well, I think a lot of people have indicated that they're very, very, very happy to have a new president. President Calhoun brings a great sense of integrity, great sense of ability to administrate, having had a lot of experience prior to. And so there's no question that this is one of the best teams that could be pulled together. The chief financial officer is someone that I actually went to school with, and Mr. Lucy is one that has par excellent skills. And I think that right now every dollar and cent that is brought to Chicago State will be used for the welfare of the institution.
Chicago State University students are very upset, which you have mentioned, about their future standings at the university. The students staged protests, sit-ins, and also shut down the expressway around campus to let lawmakers know and get their attention. You said their voices have been heard, but off camera, students are very upset. They're saying that the lawmakers are not hearing them. And basically, they're saying that, hey, the Black Caucus is not putting the extra effort to pursue my education. What do you say to those students?
I joined them. That's the reason that we're having the rally tomorrow at 7925 South Chicago at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Haven of Rest Church, because too long has there been some discussion about where's the beef, where are the resources. But then we have to also look what's going on down in Springfield. There has been a lack of appropriation of funds. There's been a conflict that has been between the governor and also Mr. Madigan, and that is a big problem within itself. Of course, this vote that has just taken place shows bipartisan support. It shows also that there is an understanding by both sides that education is very key. The governor signing it is all a positive aspect, because this is a moral and ethical responsibility to make solid decisions and to make sure that education is the main issue on the table. It was a tragedy when we had all of the professors and other employees to get pink slips. It was a tragedy when we need to have more professors, more teachers that teach the student. In America, we have approximately 150,000 teachers, and there's a need right now for over 150,000 professors. And to say that Chicago State had to give pink slips to these professors, it was a really like a dagger in our heart, and certainly many of the students felt it. Many of us alumni felt it, and we feel that there needs to certainly be some really main changes. Just like there was a need for us to stand up as it relates to those that were in Flint, Michigan. They had to actually bring formal charges against their elected officials to get change. And it has come to a point that we cannot allow our officials just to simply just go about day to day without understanding the serious crisis in our community. We can't just stand for them saying, well, we're going to paint light poles when education is broke in our state, and we need to make sure that our youth are educated.
A lot of people would say, okay, that's fine, that's well, that's dandy. But for right now, my son and daughter is going to Chicago State University. They're talking about accreditation. Of course, your background, you used to teach as well. And accreditation is very important when they receive their bachelor's, their doctorate, their master's degree. Is Chicago State in jeopardy of losing their accreditation because of the talk of closing?
Well, let me just say that any institution that is going to close its doors, naturally, it would have been. But at this point, today is a day for us to celebrate just for a little while, because we now have the institution on solid ground through the summer. And it's now time for us to continue to rally. Accreditation is always important. But the pharmacy department is, their college is number one in the state. And there are other number one messages that Chicago State has. So let's, at this time, just continue to keep positive that we will keep the institution open, because there's so many young people that aspire to do so many different things. The 900 students that are getting ready to graduate are getting ready to get into the workforce. Many of them are getting ready to spread their wings and really do things that need to happen. So we believe that it's going to be a positive when people see the whole list of alumni that are supportive. Did you know that there are alumni that are in Congress, like Congressman Danny Davis? There are alumni that have started institutions such as the Bobby Wright Mental Health Center. Bobby Wright was an alumni of Chicago State. Former Superintendent Hiller, part of Chicago State, and the beat goes on.
You mentioned Michael Madigan. You mentioned Governor Rauner. Why the Black Caucus is not putting pressure on them? Why, and the public is not putting pressure on Michael Madigan to resolve the budget issue? Is it time for the ministers to ask for a recall for Governor Rauner?
Well, I think that on tomorrow, many of us are going to say many different things. Many of the pastors, many of the elected officials, many of the alumni, many of the students, and they're going to share messages of discontent, reasons why we need to stay together, and why we need to continue to rally. Did I mention to you that Attorney Tom Todd is the keynote speaker on tomorrow night? So we have the former president of Operation Push, former assistant U.S. attorney, one who dealt with the Black Panthers case. So he's going to explore every aspect of what you have just asked, and I believe that he will get to the nitty-gritty on all of it.
Okay, we're running out of time. I know you got to go to an event coming up in a couple of hours. I have to ask this question, your opinion on the recent spike in crime. The shootings have hit this weekend, over 1,000 shootings. What are your thoughts about the recent crime in Chicago? A lot of people are saying, okay, there's a variety of solutions. Work with the new superintendent. Let's give him a chance and an opportunity. However, on the back end, the public did not have a say-so. The mayor said this is how it's going to be. Basically, he gangstered himself in. What would you say?
Well, first of all, I want to connect it to education. Education is very relevant to anything and everything that we do. If our young people are denied the opportunity for education, then they're going to take to the streets. They're going to act up. If they can't communicate and be able to get a job, then they're going to do what they're going to do in the street, and that is unfortunate. So there needs to be every endeavor by this system, the mayor, everyone, to do everything they can in order to make sure that people are educated, both from grammar school, high school, and college level. Education is key. Education is the access to reading and access to helping, knowing where to go to get help. When you talk about filling out a job application, you need to know how to do that and be able to read it proper and then fill it out correctly. So the superintendent of police that has been placed in this position, I think that every one of the superintendents would have to follow the lead of the mayor. The mayor is the one that really calls the ultimate shots. And yes, we've changed the superintendent, but we have not changed the administration that is yet on the fifth floor. I think that registration is going to be very key as we continue to move forward. We will have voter registrars at this rally at 7925 South Chicago, and people can register to vote tomorrow, 7 o'clock, and they will be able to make their own decision in changing who's on the fifth floor.
One last question. I know it's very rare to get you in the studio. I had to hog tie you to get you in. Recently, last week, the city council gave the mayor their blessings, full-fledged, to say you can do whatever you want with the superintendent. You can pick, it is up to you. You don't need to come to us. The question is, you said transparency at first with the Laquan McDonald, but now his pale face turned color and he's starting to get bold again. This is not my personal opinion. This is actually what's being said, what's been going on in the community, what people are saying. What is your response that the aldermen that forced Gary McCarthy out and said, we're not going to tolerate this again, but we're going to set reform, but months later, they gave him a clean bill of you can do whatever you want.
Well, it's unfortunate that they just simply just took the whole process and threw it in the garbage can. I think community participation boards are there for a reason. Interviewers are there for a reason, and to just simply dog it out, throw it in the garbage can, and just say, I'm going to pick this person, it really did not speak well. But I believe that we do have an opportunity now, since the superintendent's in. Let's try to work with him in order to try to make a difference. That's the best I can do, and don't forget to register to vote for when the next time comes. We are able to put an administrator, a mayor in the seat that will indeed be respectful to the people and will not continue to just dog us out every time we turn around.
And also, you'll be instrumental to the curfew piece as well.
Well, I think the curfew piece is very important. I've supported you in this effort down through the years, along with my good friend Paul Davis, who has passed on. And we feel that parents need to know where their children are. Parents need to know. And that there need to be more support by radio stations and TV stations to ask the question, where is your child? And we can just save lives just simply by asking that question and knowing and being able to pull the children in. Our children are our very best asset for the future. We need to save these children's lives, and we can do it by being family, not just simply just the ones by blood, but everybody can help by looking out for our children.
Paul Jakes, if someone wants to get a hold of you,
please call this week at 773-265-0909. But if you really just want to meet me and talk to me, I'll be at the rally tomorrow, 7 o'clock, 7925 South Chicago at the Haven of Rest Missionary Baptist Church. Tom Todd will be the keynote speaker, and we will have just a cadre of speakers. Elected officials have agreed to come left and right. There are organizations, over 100 organizations that have joined on board, and this is really going to be quite an event on tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Don't be a stranger to the Drive at 5.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
No problem. When we come back on the Drive at 5 on the IntellectualRadio.com, seeking love advice for the summer or relationship advice. The Love Doctors are here in the house. Yes, I called you Love Doctors. On IntellectualRadio.com/iHeartRadio station, the Drive at 5. And we're back on the Drive at 5 on IntellectualRadio.com/iHeartRadio station. I just have to do this. A shout out to Karen Sutton from Sutton Auto Team. They have Fords, Lincolns, Hondas for the Drive at 5. Please let them know the Drive at 5 sent you. See, I thought of that all by myself.
Good job.
Okay.
Good job, Roman.
Summer is almost here and love is on everyone's minds nowadays. Here to get you right in the right direction and in the mood because love is in the air. The Love Doctors are on the drive. First, we have my co-host Monica Johnson, and she will be asking question of the who, what, when, where, and how of relationships and love. You guys, welcome to the drive. Please introduce yourself. Go right ahead.
Sure, thanks for having us. As the co-host, okay. Come in closer.
You were so professional.
My name is Monica Johnson. Been just trying to figure this whole love piece out as my parents have been together for 38 years and just seeing how my friends, they wasn't really having a good experience with love. And so picked myself. So you know what, I just want to kind of go in full throttle with it and just start asking some questions. And that's what I've been doing for the last year. And I got some good questions for everybody.
Go ahead.
Good. My name is Christopher Hale. I'm new to Chicago. I've been here about 2 years, and I'm also in the dating game. I've been asked to offer some sage advice, insights. I'm kind of curious to see what these questions are, and I hope I don't fall flat on my face.
Okay.
My name is Adam Farmer. I'm the married guy of the bunch.
Right.
Oh, get out of here.
And when Monica first brought this idea to me, I said, well, your girlfriends need to be talking to some single guys instead of their girlfriends. So I called up a couple of my buddies who tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And so, sisters, if you're out there and you want to know what's going on, you're going to get the truth today, whether you want it or not.
Oh, my.
Whoa. Truth if you want it or not. All right.
I'm William Hall. I'm a pastor actually in Chicago and founder of foundation called Acts of Love. And my friend Skip, he's listening down in Atlanta. I think he's in LA or Atlanta. But yeah, I just want to share a little something that I learned along the way.
Shout out to Skip.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask the first question.
All right,
here.
Roman, this is your show.
Okay.
Get right to it.
What's going on with dating in today's society? Women say they like to be, as Jeffrey Osborne say, can we woo woo woo?
All right. That's before my generation.
Some don't. If you're a nice guy or you're being a gentleman and you are considered a lame, a pushover, weak, how to woo a lady in today's society? Start with you right here.
Wow. You said if he's weak.
Lame.
Lame.
If you're nice, if you're being a gentleman or cordial, chivalry, stuff like that, you are nowadays you're considered weak, lame, or a pushover.
So how does he what?
How you woo
Yeah.
today's
Well, I
woman.
think you're doing all the right things. I think it's, if you're opening doors for a woman, if you're buying her dinner or making her feel like a woman, giving her roses or giving her flowers or, taking her for walks in the park, doing those things that kind of spur romance, I think you will actually attract a better quality of woman. If I could say that, the type of woman that really is interested in romance. There are a lot, in my experience, I recently was going out with a young lady. She said that a lot of the guys that she goes out with don't even want to open doors for her. And so I said, well, it's kind of hard for me because I never really had to do that, but I've been doing it. And it's I've been getting a really good reaction from that. So I don't think just because you express chivalry, it makes you weak, it makes you a man. I think that's what real men have forgotten. I think we've forgotten how to do that. Like our fathers and maybe fathers before that maybe did it, but I think that's become lost on us because we expect women to just come to us just because we're men and just because we have jobs and just we have cars. And I think we have forgotten that we have to do work for it.
Adam?
So chivalry is not dead. My wife will tell you that she can't remember the last time she opened a car door or a door.
Oh, wow.
And so if she forgets, then I remind her. That's my job. But for a lot of people that are growing up today, you hear the saying all the time, you can't be what you don't see. And so if boys don't see real men, they don't know how to be a real man. And if women were never around a real man growing up, then it's foreign to them when they see a guy that has chivalry. So it's our responsibility as men to teach both boys and young girls how men are supposed to treat women.
Well, I think that women nowadays subliminally are in competition with men when it comes to making money, when it comes to even the interactions with men in intimate spaces. And God forbid, women that have haircuts like men. So I
always wondered that. Where did you go to the barber shop? Because their fade looks better than mine, as Martin Lawrence used to say.
But no, I mean, don't quote me on that. But the point is that
Don't get me started. I'm holding back. Don't get me started.
I don't think that those guys that do the right thing are considered lames. I don't think that a guy that shows manners. I think that is what a real man is, because when you look at it, then I guess the president is a lame. Because there's been countless times in which the president, who's arguably one of the most powerful men in the free world, has held the door for First Lady. Recently had an umbrella for her when they went to Cuba. So
That's
I think that
held her dress down when they were getting on Air Force
absolutely.
One.
So I think that a lame to me is somebody that doesn't have manners, someone that doesn't have intellect. So that definition of lame is not applicable for somebody that's doing the right thing. A man, that is.
It ain't a woman in the world who does not want a man to do those things for her. Now, whether or not she can receive those things is a different story. But I think that all women want to have something like that when they see it. When they see it, they want it. But then to actually get it on a consistent basis, that's where the hard work comes in. Because not only does a man have to be able to give it, but then the woman has to be able to receive it. And if she's not able to receive it, then the man ain't gonna be doing it.
Right.
And I might add a comment to that is I think our women too need to expect it. They need to require that, because I think as men, sometimes I think we were having a conversation on the way here, that men, we will do what we can get away with or what little we can get away with. So if our women start saying, I expect you to be a gentleman, I expect you to open and close doors, I expect you to do these things. Man, if we are interested in a woman, then we will do what it takes to keep her interest.
Absolutely.
So I think that it really works on both sides. We have to be willing to do it, and then women have to be willing to say, I expect these things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Monica?
Now, for me, my mom and dad was married for 38 years. So I saw that every day in the household, what love looked like from a child on up, and just seeing my aunts and uncles. But I think from, after that, a lot of my friends didn't have that. They didn't have the dad in the home. So it kills for both sides. From the guys, I think someone said it earlier, don't know what that looks like to be a man. And also for the woman, how it feels to have a man do that. But I have another question for you. As we kind of been doing some research, I kind of hear this a lot. And the question is, everyone keeps saying that men are hunters. So why are the African-American men afraid to hunt when other cultures have no problem coming up and addressing the situation?
Because I think, number one, if you're a hunter, that means that also you are considered a predator. So I don't think that a man hunts. I just disagree with that idea. I think a man pursues, though. And I think that most men nowadays are hesitant to pursue because some women do not have or make themselves open to be pursued by a man. I mean, like I said, when you step out in society nowadays, most women have to step into boardrooms where they're rubbing shoulders, bumping elbows against men. Unfortunately, even in the church, most women for years have been relegated to the kitchen. And now women are being, led to places of influence, even in the spiritual sector. So I don't think that it's a matter of black men not pursuing black women themselves open to being pursued by someone, open to love.
But we don't have that issue with other cultures.
Well, let me lay a little bit of information on that topic. So what I think, so it is true. Women are rising in the ranks and becoming more powerful, very educated. They're making money. They're running companies. They're starting companies. I work with a group of very powerful, smart black women I admire, and they're very powerful. They're doing their thing. They're entrepreneurs, right? So what happens is sometimes, and I'm going to admit this, that we can be a little bit intimidated by that. There can be some levels of intimidation because I have guy friends that have actually said that, because these women, a lot of times as they get more powerful and they become more, they're more entrepreneurs, they're doing things. Right. Sometimes they need to put some men at ease. And I'm speaking it because I've only been in Chicago 2 years, but in other parts of places I've lived, I've actually seen that. Okay. Where that's fair. Brothers will say women make it very difficult for us to approach them. And so maybe sometimes those women that are very powerful and very beautiful may need to do things that make it a little easier for some of us to approach them, but smile a little bit more.
But it's one of those things where at one time in society, I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, women view men as a necessity, right? I mean, at one point in time, men, brought home the bacon, women fried the bacon. Now, it's sad to say there are some black women in this case that look at men as accessories and not necessities. And so the idea of, I'm going to say it like this. Sometimes as a man, I feel like I'm a piece of meat to a woman. Let's be clear.
Yeah, right, Monica. Women are predators and hunters too.
There are some women that go after men like we are prey.
I have to fight women outside.
That's
right.
Like
when
Roman needs an escort every time he leaves Intellectual Radio to drive that bike.
I don't know if it's women look at men as an accessory. Beyonce's new project, Lemonade, she made Jay-Z look like he was.
Hey, well, boy, you make 80 million. Look here, man.
Exactly. So I don't know if it's men intimidated as much as women are just different. How about that?
Okay, I'll give you an example. I had a young lady sitting at
Come
a bar.
on, Adam, tell us.
And the young lady was sitting down at the bar having a drink.
I'm waiting.
The black guy stands there, he waves, he smiles, so he's obviously interested. She smiles, communication, the chemistry is going. He doesn't make a move. Caucasian guy comes right up to the bar and says, I'll buy you a drink.
It's intimidation. I'm telling you, he doesn't.
Or he may not.
He may walk up to the. He may not feel like he has the ability to have the kind of conversation with her that he thinks that she wants to have. And I don't know about the white guy thing, but that's really, what else can you call it? I don't feel like, I'm looking at her and maybe she's well dressed and she's well put together. She's beautiful in my eyes, and I don't really know how to have a conversation with her. We overcomplicate things, and I still stick with my intimidation factor. I think it's an issue. White guys walk up and they're just, hey, how you doing? And they know it's that simple.
I disagree.
Well, hold on.
with
It all
that.
depends on what she's drinking too. Because if she's drinking Hennessy, I'm not stepping to no woman drinking Hennessy. Jameson.
I disagree with that, because if it depends. If she's by herself, I think the guy is more than likely to approach her, an African American male. However, if she's with a female, her friends, there's this little thing called blocking that
Right.
the guy saying, nah, because there's always this girl or someone, everybody experienced this, and they're like, you know what, I'm not going to get into it. There's always an ugly woman in the crowd. I'm just,
That's
just
true. And the ugly one
Adam,
always
say that
blocked.
again, because
That's
I don't
true.
want to get hit.
So Monica, I don't agree with Chris in terms of the intimidation. I'm a very confident man.
Okay.
Now, what I have learned over the years is that rejection does play a role in it, and oftentimes, as men are trying to make a decision on whether or not we want, and I'll speak for myself, I have to decide if I see a beautiful woman sitting at a bar by herself. Number one, do I want to pick her up in a place like this? And number two, I don't take too kindly to rejection. And so I'm factoring all of those things in, short term and long term. And so it may not be worth the investment of my time in that particular moment.
Okay.
Ooh,
That's a very
that's-
scientific
yeah, Adam.
I'm just making
So
decisions.
smart.
if I was next to you, I would give you a high five.
High five,
There.
virtual high
Yeah,
We're
five.
gonna move on. We're gonna
Go-
do the
go
next
ahead.
So
question.
Go
intelligent, man.
Yeah.
Intellectual radio.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
So here's a burning question that I really want to know. And I was actually standing out doing my little surveys with a couple of ladies, and I asked them the same question.
By the way, are your friends, are they single too?
Some of them are. Some are
Okay.
married. Some are
Okay.
divorced.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
How do you gentlemen feel, or your peers, other guys similar to you, when you keep hearing African American women say, I'm a boss chick, I'm a strong Black woman? So before I wrote down this question, I went somewhere and I asked a bunch of other women who were non-African American. They had no clue what I was referring to. It was like, what is a boss chick, and why are you guys saying you're a strong Black woman? So does this rub you guys the wrong way? Does that do what to you? How does it make you feel?
But see, even I just think still is strong, still bends though. You know, Sears Tower, no matter how you look at it, it's a big building, tall building, largest one, tallest one in the world rather. But if you look at it closely, when the wind blows, it still shifts because steel is made to bend. And I don't know, well, I don't date chicks. I just don't do that. So, I mean, women that feel
I think
the
you
need
might
to,
need to clarify that word.
Right.
right. No, I mean, like when women,
He
take
was
on this
referring to
persona-
his T-shirt, or Rockefeller's and chicken
No,
and waffles.
so
there.
when women, have this persona, I'm a boss chick, like that to me is identity crisis.
Uh.
Either you're a woman with elegance, grace, dignity, regal, or I don't know what a boss chick is. This persona is something that has been unfortunately manufactured as a reaction to not being treated equally, fairly in different spaces in society. But I do encourage women, to bend. There's certain things it's okay to bend with, and you don't lose your regalness, you don't lose your valor, you don't lose your dignity if you're in the presence of the right man.
I think so. For me, my wife is a professional woman. She has her own business.
Killing it too.
She the coldest chick in the game. Now, when it comes to her being a business owner, it's different than her being a wife. Okay. And so she and I know that. So for me as a man to be able to deal with a very powerful woman who I chose to marry, then I am the keeper of the energy in the home. And what happens is you have masculine energy and then you have feminine energy. And it is the man's job to make sure that I maintain the balance of the energy in the home. So it's my job to know that when she's coming home from work, she's in her masculine energy. So when she gets home, we can't have two masculine energies going around, right? So it's my job as a man in today's society, because the lines get blurred, is I have to know when there's masculine energy and when there's feminine energy, and when I need to use one or the other to balance the home. But that takes a lot of time and effort, and all of these things that I've done, spending thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours learning how to be a man, father, husband in today's, and a business owner in today's society. And for me, what it comes down to is that energy. Because when you get home and your wife has been making decisions all day, driving, competitive in this environment that we're in, and then she comes home, it's hard for women to turn that part of themselves off, and you all need help with that. And so it would behoove the men to learn how to navigate between those two types of energy. And that's something that I've recognized over the years. And it's just, that's just a golden nugget for the people that are listening.
Okay, I just want to ask another question because we have quite a few of them, and the time is slipping past us. So this is one question from the Monica friend bag. The question is,
I want to meet your friend.
Yeah.
Next show live at a restaurant.
She says, I'm 43 years old, and my time is running out for having children soon.
Yes.
And I'm addressing this question while I'm on dates. Do you think I'm scaring men off? But I've been working on my PhD. I already have my master's.
Ooh.
But is this throwing men off?
Well, so as a man in somewhere in those 40-year range, I've had that question brought up to me. And since I have kids, I appreciate them asking the question, do you want children? And I can answer the question up front. While I already have two, not really interested in having any more. That way I don't waste their time, they don't waste mine. But I think at our age, you have to ask that question, because as she said, her time is running out. She doesn't have 3 or 4 years or 5 years to date guys and then fall in love, get engaged, and find out he doesn't want to have children.
That's true.
I kind of experienced that, and with the previous situation, and out of understanding that she really wanted children badly, and it simply was not something I wanted. So I don't think it's off-putting. I think that, again, running out of time, not having a lot of time in life to have a family when you're a professional woman or man in your 40s, you got to get that out up front. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if you're putting off men, it just means you haven't met the right one to accept it yet.
I'm available after 6, so you can let her. No, I'm just joking.
My question to you is this, though, right? So I've dated older women that I considered on the other side of the, Jordan. After 35, there's just high risk.
Uh-huh.
I had that question a couple of times. So women, close to 40, one over 40. My question in return was, have you had your eggs checked?
Whoa, brother.
Because my thing is this: if you are concerned about having children, right? Now, I think last time I checked, mine swim upstream very well. But if you don't have enough eggs, then is it going to be my fault or is it going to be your fault? So before I think women over 40 or over 35, for that matter, present the idea of family, I don't want to waste time. Make sure that your eggs are healthy. Either you have them frozen or know your egg count.
But she actually may want to adopt. I'm talking
about in reference to the egg question, because she said that she was talking about eggs. But if a woman don't know her body like the back of her hand, then I don't think she should be trying to get with anybody else. That's just my opinion.
So let's say she has figured all that out. Will that, at the time of the date, the first date,
yes, she will scare men off.
Absolutely right. Yeah,
so stop whoever that is, stop doing that.
Right.
Well, not necessarily.
I disagree.
Not necessarily,
Yeah.
because it really depends on the male. Because if the male is looking for the same thing, you just have to find that right male. Because if they want children too, there are guys out there that want children, but just involved with.
So what
And
date?
Other women that
and really, how much time do you want to waste going on dates before you get to that?
Right,
second
exactly.
part? It's like going on a date
On the
and
first
not asking
list,
the guy,
on the
like,
first date.
Are you
Well, let me put it this way.
are you married?
All right,
I didn't know you were married.
Here's a drink. Hey, now let me ask you this. I want kids. You want kids? Okay, if we. I mean,
You don't have to.
Well,
face it. It's not
it
weird.
goes
You don't have to
back.
face
It
like
goes
that.
to relation of my question. Okay. Besides you, Adam, to get hit by the, I want you two single guys to answer this question. Would you sleep with a woman on the first date?
No way.
Absolutely not.
Why?
Because if
the chemistry is there.
how many other guys has she done this to the first time? That's number one. That's the first thing I'm thinking. That's number one. The other thing about it is, secondly, I'm at the stage in life where I do view more than ever my body as being sacred. So, I mean, I take serious the idea of being intimate with basically a stranger. You do not know someone the first time you sit down and eat with them. So I do not want strange people in my sacred space. That's just my opinion.
So to add to that, I agree with you 100%. Like, that's just not where I am in my life. Maybe when I was 20,
Right.
possibly. But
Before I got saved.
exactly right.
I was about to say that's spoken like a true pastor. So his members is listening.
Well, your sacred space, right? When you have sex with a woman, you give away a piece of your energy.
Absolutely.
You give away a lot
Life
of your
source.
emotional. You give away a lot of your emotions. So
Absolutely.
you're giving away a piece of yourself. And then what's going to happen? You're going to find yourself perhaps in a relationship with someone you may not even like.
Exactly.
And God forbid she gets pregnant. And now
yeah.
you're in a situation. So then it becomes a matter of taking control and saying, I'm going to make better decisions, be more responsible about the things I do. You know, hey, you look hot, you look good, that booty's popping, but I'm going to leave it for another time down the road, right? So.
Okay. Here's the next question. I'm 36 years old.
You got intellectuals here at this radio station. We ain't doing all of that foolishness.
I'm 36 years old, and I'm dating a business owner. He's busy all the time. We've been dating for 4 years. We've never been on vacation together or even shared a weekend. Do you think it's time for me to move on?
Dump
Yes.
him. Absolutely. And
No.
look.
He's like, no.
Yes, absolutely. Like,
He busy all the time.
Busy all the time.
He's just
Stop
not
making
that
any
into
time
you.
for you. Look, like Adam and I had
We
this
just had this
conversation earlier.
conversation.
If you are not if you're not saving lives, you're not doing heart surgery, you got time to call or text or make time for me. Absolutely not. Somebody's been burning through your time for 4 years. They ain't put a ring on it. Y'all
4
ain't
years.
got a conversation.
Hold on.
They've
That's
never
too
been
long.
on a
And
vacation
you've never been
together.
on vacation?
Dude, please.
Hold on.
Exactly.
Wait.
Do please.
Let me look at it from every spectrum, right? Let's talk to the conservatives, because this is intellectual radio. Spending that type of money before marriage is no guarantee. Now, and
4
that
years.
No, let me finish. No, I'm talking to the conservatives. I'm not saying my truth. I'm just saying, like, for those that are listening that are conservative, they might agree with the fact that I'm not going to invest that kind of money, because if you're going on vacation, that means flights, hotels. That's about $2,000-3,000 right there. That's A. B, why are we going to play marriage if we're not married? That's to the conservatives. To the moderate/liberals, I mean, my thing is this: if in 4 years, and from a man's perspective, right, if this person is building his empire, now, come on, you can attest to this. If you're building your empire from ground up, not 4 years as you're just building it, you got to make those sacrifices now so you can enjoy it later. Correct?
Right? But not a weekend.
But
Not even a weekend.
Here's the
That's
question that you should ask her.
Adam, you ain't gonna help me.
Here's a question you should be asking her then.
You're trying to build.
How you know he don't have another woman that he's doing stuff with? I mean,
Yeah,
because
I
if
mean,
he's not making any
even
time
if
for her
I'm
to go on
building.
vacation, then he's got to be doing something with somebody, because nobody goes really for 4 years and doesn't take a girl on vacation.
All right, Ken, I got you. All right.
I'm going to get her.
So, Will, I'll agree with you.
He's gonna
Maybe
see Michael's house.
maybe not a vacation, but a weekend, movies. I mean, we live in
Exactly,
Chicago. You can go
exactly.
to Millennium Park for free. It ain't like you got to spend a whole lot of bread.
I'm down with that. Yeah.
Right. So time is the most valuable asset that you
Right.
have.
Right.
True.
And if I'm not willing to give her my time, I'm just not that into you.
No. I'm not saying that you don't give her time. We agree on that.
But that's what she just said.
But no, she said vacation.
She said
Vacation,
not even a
not
weekend,
even a
homie.
weekend. Vacation or weekend.
What does a weekend include? Like Friday, sundown to Sunday? I mean,
Or
if we go out on a
Saturday,
Saturday. I mean, that's a kind of vague question, but I agree with you on the premise of if you can't give time, you shouldn't be with her. But I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I may not give you a whole weekend if I'm
In 4
working.
years?
A whole weekend. One day
In 4 years, she just got a bad deal. She got to move on. That was her
agree.
question.
Okay.
Her question was, is it time?
After
Yeah.
4 years,
Okay,
if
for
nothing
time's sake-
significant has happened, she needs to be done with it.
Okay, for time's sake,
Lord have
I
mercy.
know you have a couple more questions than I have mine. Can we keep it brief so we can get almost to every single question, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, go right ahead.
Okay. I just made 40. And I've been
Do you have
dating.
any friends in like early 30s?
Right. Pastor Will don't want all these old chicks.
Oh, you gonna
said
get
old
Pass the collection plate.
Proceed, man.
Okay. This young lady said, I just made 40. Congratulations. I've been dating married men since I was 16 years old. I've been making some changes in my life. I even joined church. Pastor.
She got Pastor Will's church. She's one of your members.
But lately, the pastor has been a little too friendly. What is it about me that's keep letting this married men come on to me?
Is it Pastor
Can
Mary?
we see a picture?
No, I don't have
Has she been sneaking with the deacon?
No.
Is it
But
Pastor
this
Mary?
This is something that
This
goes
is
on
not
quite a bit.
intellectual therapy.
But no, it's a Pastor Mary.
The pastor's married.
I mean, it's a law of attraction.
You are what you. That's what you're putting off.
Exactly.
So you are attracting. You are
Exactly.
sending out that energy,
correct.
and that is what is being attracted to you.
Absolutely.
So she has to do some personal work, because until she truly changes and gets that spirit up off of her, she go keep attracting married
she's
men.
making some changes. She's in the church.
Church ain't the solution.
What that mean?
But the church is not the solution to her
Right.
issue. It's
Well, I'm a
something
pastor.
internal
Oops.
that she has to make changes to herself. She has to sit down and do some thinking, look inward, and try to understand what is it that I'm doing that's attracting this bad karma.
Including her family history. Maybe it's
Well-
somewhere in her DNA. But the other side of the coin is this: in addition to the attraction to occupied men, what is it about her that she likes that? Where's her standard? Because even if it comes to you, because not everything you can control that, but she has an option and a choice to not make that decision. So even after she, do some self-evaluation, what about her does she like that entices that she keeps it around? It's on her.
Okay, here's one in the 30s.
Hey.
I'm 35 years old, and my friends say that I need to change the way I dress. My clothes are too tight. She says, okay, borderline naked. But is that true? Do I really need to change who I am just to find a good guy?
Yes.
Oh, my. Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you have a
Because
picture of her? That's what Chris wanted to ask.
no,
You
you
said
know
half
what?
naked. I want to see a picture.
I say this the best, and because we making it quick, but y'all can add on to this. I think that one of the best things that the presidency offers us, or the President Obama, that is that Michelle Obama is a regal, elegant woman, and I've dated women that have curves, you know what I mean, and just wear outfits well. And as a guy, she represents you, and you represent her. And if you're about something great in life, you don't want someone that represents a contradiction of who you are.
So on your drive here, the young lady, it's 80 degrees in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
The young lady in those leggings, you didn't look?
I mean, if she going to work out, that's fine. But if we going out to dinner or we going to church, I mean, nah, no.
I think there's a time and place for everything. I don't think you should change who you are or how you dress necessarily, but it just be appropriate with it. Just be appropriate with it. I mean,
You being real political with that answer. Because earlier you wouldn't go out on the first day to get it in.
No, I wouldn't. But be appropriate. I mean, wear dresses and look, look the part. And then when you're out with him, if you're out of the club and you need to show a little skin, that's okay. I mean, you're doing it for him.
My rule is I date a woman
Don't go
that
overboard with
would
it.
be a good reflection for a daughter of mine. Now, if I would have a heart attack if my daughter wore that, then I don't want to be with a woman that would dress like that. Because my daughter's going to see her as her first example every day.
Roman, what you got to say about this?
I have a question.
All right.
Roman like him exposed.
Some women say they don't play games. However, they play games. And it's kind of like, what a guy do if a woman, if she does not play games, or her 1 minute, her action says, okay, her mouth says, okay, I don't play games, but her action says, I do play games. Briefly, what you guys think down the line?
They do play games.
When they say they don't play games, they do.
It depends on a certain level. I think even it's age agnostic. For example, a guy gives a girl a phone number, sends a text message, and she text messages 2 days later. Like, I honestly feel like if you're not a cardiac surgeon, you're not saving a lot. Text me back and say, I'll call you in 2 hours or 3 hours. There's really no reason for me to text a woman and who I've gotten her number. We have agreed to have conversation for her to call me back 2 days later or to text me 8 hours later, unless you got a horde of kids and a family at home you got to take care of. That's understandable. But that to me is game playing, because if I do it, then I'm playing games.
Yeah, I don't play games either. So I say what I mean what I say. And so my thing is, if what I say and then what I do don't line up, then I force someone to pay 100% attention to what I do, because your word doesn't mean anything anymore. So ladies, if you say you don't play games, but then your actions are you are playing games, then I'm going to pay attention to what you do. And I expect the same thing for me. I teach my son those things as well, because our word is our bond. That's all we really have. So if you don't want to play games, then don't play games, and we'll have a good time. So I like to have fun.
Man, tricks are for kids. I mean, it comes a point in time in life where you need to be, like you said, clear, focused, and honest about what you want in life. But game playing is a waste of time.
Okay, my last question from the Monica's bag of questions. I'm 26 years old, and my husband is 29. I dated a girl once when I was in college, but every time we get into a fight, he throws it up in my face. Is that something I should have kept to myself?
How old is she?
She's 29. I mean, she's 26, and her husband's 29.
So she dated the girl in college.
Mm-hmm.
That's hot.
Any man.
Why is her husband bringing that up and throwing it in her face?
He should be telling her to call the girl from college.
Now, hold on, you the same person that said that on the first day. But I mean, any man that brings up a woman's past, whether it was personal between them two or somebody, exactly, it's a form of manipulation.
Has to will and get some marital counseling. Some Christian marital
that's manipulation.
counseling.
She needs to run. Seriously, it's okay to get divorced.
She can't.
So,
She
but she's
married.
married.
She married.
It's okay to get divorced.
It's okay to get a
As long as,
well,
but if
that'll be another show.
that's gonna be another show.
Right. What do you have for us?
Okay, I just want to know this question. A lot of people are asking this question. Can you guys define Black love in today's society?
I can't.
Quiet?
I know. I think I have a vision of it in my head. To me, Black love is, to obviously Black man and Black woman who trust each other implicitly, and they have a 100% and totally, completely honest relationship. So you've seen those pictures where the Black man and woman are just really hugged up, and they're just really. It's a level of intensity that only true honesty in a relationship can give you.
And Black love for me is open, honest communication and unconditional trust and love of your partner. My wife and I have closed the door on divorce. And so you just gotta sit in a room and stick it out.
Man, Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell, Diamonds and Pearls, Prince. Read the lyrics. There it is.
All right. Thank you, Monica.
Thanks. I'm glad to be on the show. Glad you were allowing us to have this opportunity about love and relationships.
Thank you. And guys, don't be a stranger to the Drive at 5 on IntellectualRadio.com. See, it wasn't that bad, right, Monica? It
It's
wasn't
actually pretty fun.
Yeah, see?
There's more to come. Stay tuned.
We'll see what the people got to say.
All right, that's going to do it for us on the Drive at 5 on IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart Radio Station. Thanks to Earl Winfrey, our executive producer, Rhea Ray Harris, who is up next with Straight No Chasers. You guys have a great week.
Thank you.